everybody, happy springtime. I hope you are all doing well, and I hope that you have made yourself a nice cup of tea because today's video is going to be a little extensive. I am doing my 2021 bookshelf tour. This is the first time I've ever filmed a bookshelf tour, and I can see why people only do it once a year. It's a bit of work, but it was really cool to go through all my books and see what I've yet to read and the stories I have yet to explore. Just so you know, I organize my bookshelves by color. I think the rainbow thing is lovely and it makes me happy whenever I see it. However, I do not have quite enough books to do the thing where it's like a dedicated red shelf, orange shelf, yellow shelf, etc. So what I do is like a mini rainbow on each shelf, as you can probably see. Alrighty, with that, let's get into the tour. I am going to move the doodads on my shelf away so that it's easier to film books. But if you ever want to see what I have on my shelves for decor, let me know in the comments, and I might film a video about that exclusively. Alrighty, here we go. The Elite by Kira Cass. The Catcher in the Rye by J.D. Salinger. A Tale of Two Cities by Charles Dickens. Harry Potter Handbook Movie Magic by, I have absolutely no idea. This is a remnant of my elementary school scholastic book fair, but I'm guessing it's by She Who Must Not Be Named, so let's proceed. Wolf by Ryan Grodin. On Writing by Stephen King. Simon vs. the Homo Sapiens Agenda by Becky Albertalli. The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas. Concrete Rose by Angie Thomas. I got the signed first edition of this and I cannot wait to read it. Extremely Loud and Incredibly Close by Jonathan Safran Foer. Purple Hibiscus by Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie. Slay by Brittany Morris. It's a love story, baby, just say it. The Poet X by Elizabeth Acevedo. Room by Emma Donoghue. Everything I Never Told You by Celeste Ng. Little Fires Everywhere by Celeste Ng. On Directing Film by David Mamet. The Giver by Lois Lowry. Julie and Julia by Julie Powell. Jurassic Park by Michael Crichton, and I have to say I love this one because the book came out before the motion picture did, so it has like the sticker on it. It makes me happy. Normal People by Sally Rooney. The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. The Reluctant Fundamentalist by Mohsin Hamid. A Storm of Swords by George R.R. Martin. Anne of the Island by Lucy Maud Montgomery. The Hardy Boys, The Tower Treasure by Franklin W. Dixon. 1 Year Off by David Elliott Cohen. Eleanor Oliphant is Completely Fine by Gail Honeyman. The Queen's Gambit by Walter Tevis. Radio Silence by Alice Oseman. Always and Forever, Lara Jean by Jenny Han. P.S. I Still Love You by Jenny Han. And then last but not least, To All the Boys I've Loved Before by Jenny Han. Sense and Sensibility, Pride and Prejudice, Emma and Northanger Abbey by Jane Austen. The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. Coverless because my dog ate it, but this is The Land of Stories, A Grim Warning by Chris Colfer. Fever, a novel of Typhoid Mary by Mary Beth Keane, which I purchased during the pandemic, which is still very much so going on, so stay safe. Catching Fire by Suzanne Collins. The Library Book by Susan Orlean. Coverless because I hate book jackets, but this is First They Killed My Father by Leung Ng. A Feast for Crows by George R.R. Martin. Okay, so I asked for Moby Dick for Christmas, and I didn't realize that this was the child's version that I sent my parents the link to, so Moby Dick the Children's Edition by Herman Melville. This is The Henna Wars by Adiba Jagardar. Next we have Little House on the Prairie by Laura Ingalls Wilder. Brooklyn by Colum Toybeen. Where the Crawdads Sing by Delia Owens. Fences by August Wilson. Savor by Thich Nhat Hanh and Dr. Lillian Chiang. This Is How It Always Is by Laurie Frankel. The End of Faith by Sam Harris. So here's the deal. I am an atheist. This is my dad's. I am probably going to read it. However, I don't really like Sam Harris very much, especially since he's tried to get into social justice on his podcast. And I'm not anti-religion necessarily. I am anti-evangelism. But yeah, I'm still trying to work out what I believe on my own, and I think that I will definitely read this in my exploration of that. On a somewhat lighter note, Dictionary of Quotations by lots of different people. The Kite Runner by Khalid Hosseini. Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban by She Who Shall Not Be Named. Everything Everything by Nicola Yoon. Codename Verity by Elizabeth Vine. Truly Devious by Maureen Johnson. Over the Top by Jonathan Van Ness. Murder on the Orient Express by Agatha Christie. I know it's the movie cover, please forgive me. Nick by Michael Ferris Smith. Looking forward to this one. Probably will do a video on it because my Great Gatsby video got a strangely large number of views, so be on the lookout for that. Also, it has sprayed edges, so that's a fun time. White Teeth by Zadie Smith. The Count of Monte Cristo by Alexandre Dumas. The Fault in Our Stars by John Green. The House in the Cerulean Sea by T.J. Klune, which I love. Lily and the Octopus by Stephen Rowley. When the Emperor Was Divine by Julie Otsuka. Children of Blood and Bone by Tomi Adeyemi. The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn by Mark Twain. The Grief Keeper by Alexandra Viasante. The Handmaid's Tale by Margaret Atwood. 97 Orchard, an edible history of 5 immigrant families in one New York tenement by Jane Ziegelman. Dragon of the Red Dawn by Mary Pope Osborne. What I Loved by Siri Ustavid. The Little Paris Bookshop by Nina George. Usborne Illustrated Stories for Girls. My parents read these to me and my little sister when we were little. Do I think books or stories or really anything at all should be gendered? No. Lovely War by Julie Berry. The Devil Wears Prada by Lauren Weisberger. Twelfth Night by William Shakespeare. The Adventures of Tom Sawyer by Mark Twain. An Ember in the Ashes by Sabah Tahir. Nancy's Mysterious Letter by Carolyn Keene. Harvard Review, issue 52. My dad got this for me when I started submitting to literary journals. Hatchet by Gary Paulson. Pocket RBG Wisdom. Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince by She Who Shall Not Be Named. Sharp Objects by Gillian Flynn. Moon Over Manifest by Claire Vanderpool. The Maze Runner by James Dashner. Stamped by Jason Reynolds and Ibram X. Kendi. Atonement by Ian McEwan. Anne of Avonlea by Lucy Maud Montgomery. The Late Show by Michael Connolly. To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee. A Gathering Light by Jennifer Donnelly. I'm not sure why there's a book on the book cover, but whatever. Esperanza Rising by Pam Munoz Ryan. Winter Girls by Lori Halse Anderson, which I really want to read, but I'm not quite ready to yet since it deals with eating disorders. Letters from Lighthouse Cottage by Ali McNamara. The Call of the Wild and White Fang by Jack London. A Dance with Dragons by George R.R. Martin. Will the series ever be finished? Who's to say? The Hunger Games by Suzanne Collins. Cress by Marissa Meyer. Scarlet by Marissa Meyer. Cinder by Marissa Meyer. I think my sister has Winter, so I should probably borrow that sometime. Aftershocks by Nadia Owusu. This is another arc, and I'm really enjoying it so far. The Book of Joy by His Holiness the Dalai Lama, Archbishop Desmond Tutu, and Douglas Abrams. One of Us is Lying by Karen M. McManus. The Complete Sherlock Holmes by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, except that's a lie because I got this secondhand and this is only the second volume of 2. My Year of Rest and Relaxation by Ottessa Moshfegh. The Sun Also Rises by Ernest Hemingway. Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows by She Who Shall Not Be Named. Poetry of Pablo Neruda by Pablo Neruda. Take a Hint, Danny Brown by Talia Hibbert. Sorry, it's super sunny. My grandmother asked me to tell you she's sorry by Frederick Bachman. Emily of New Moon by L.M. Montgomery. Blue Highways A Journey into America by William Least Heat Moon. Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire by She Who Shall Not Be Named. Where the Mountain Meets the Moon by Grace Lynn. Mockingjay by Suzanne Collins. The Winnie the Pooh Storybook Treasury by A.A. Milne. The Filmmaker's Handbook, a comprehensive guide for the digital age by Stephen Atcher and Edward Pincus. A Man Called Uva by Frederick Bachman. The Forbidden Wish by Jessica Khoury. Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone by She Who Shall Not Be Named. The Lovely Bones by Alice Sebold. And last but not least on this shelf, A Short History of the Movies, 5th edition, by Gerald Mast. Here I have actually a lot of library books in Lending Library, but I own some of them. I own The Priory of the Orange Tree by Samantha Shannon, A Little Life by Hanya Yanagihara, and 1Q84 by Haruki Murakami. But I have checked out right now The Poppy War by R.F. Kuang, The Nickel Boys by Colson Whitehead, and then from the Lending Library I got Spirit Animals Wilde Born by Brandon, one of the two, Mull. That was a childhood favorite. And then on this side, these are all library books. I have American Royals by Catherine McGee, Like a Love Story, as well as An American Marriage by Tayari Jones. Then on my rocking chair we have a book for school, The Devil's Highway by Luis Alberto Uria. On my nightstand we have a library book called Five Came Back, a story of Hollywood and the Second World War, and then one of my teachers is lending me not the complete, but the early novels and stories of James Baldwin. And then up a little further we have Anna Karenina by Leo Tolstoy. Okay, welcome to my desk, which has a couple of bookshelves built in. We'll start with the top. The Heart of a Woman by Maya Angelou. The Hobbit by J.R.R. Tolkien. The History of Jazz by Ted Gioia. Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, Collector's Edition by Roald Dahl. And then I have this beautiful edition that has illustrations in color of Alice in Wonderland and Alice Through the Looking Glass by Lewis Carroll. Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte. Next mini shelf. The Glass Castle by Jeanette Walls. The Guernsey Literary and Potato Peel Pie Society by Marianne Schaffer and Annie Barrows. The Sky is Everywhere by Jandy Nelson. The Traveling Restaurant by Barbara Else. The Perks of Being a Wallflower by Stephen Chbosky. Anne of Green Gables by Lucy Maud Montgomery. Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte. This is my great-grandma's copy, and I think she got it new for 55 cents. Mini Shelf 3. The Boy in the Striped Pajamas by John Boyne. The Great Gatsby by F. Scott Fitzgerald. Lucky in Love by Casey West. Hamlet by William Shakespeare. No cover because I still can't stand book covers. I Am Malala by Malala Yousafzai. This is my first copy of Little Women by Louisa May Alcott. I think that's the only book I own a duplicate of. There is my second copy of Little Women by Louisa May Alcott, thanks to Greta Gerwig's 2019 adaptation. I'm so excited because I'm letting my friend Liana borrow that starting this coming Monday because she is playing Jo in our school's musical of Little Women, which is so exciting. And then The Spectacular Spider-Man, The Death of Vermin, Part 1. This is my Shakespeare minifigure. If you ever want me to do a video where I show like my doodads on my bookshelves, I'd be happy to do that, so let me know. And last but not least, the underbelly of my desk. I stacked books here because I was afraid the shelf would break, but I don't know. The Color Purple by Alice Walker. The Lies of Locke Lamora by Scott Lynch. The Tenant of Wildfell Hall by Anne Bronte. Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. I apparently lied when I said I only have one book that I have 2 copies of. Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire by She Who Shall Not Be Named. The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe by C.S. Lewis. Love and Gelato by Jenna Evans Welch. The Shining by Stephen King. Black Beauty by Anna Sewell. The Selection by Kira Cass. The Girl Who Drank the Moon by Kelly Barnhill. The Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires by Grady Hendrix. The Golden Compass by Philip Pullman. The Mists of Avalon by Marion Zimmer Bradley. Eat a Bowl of Tea by Louis Chu. The City of Ember by Jeanne Dubrow. Into the Wilde by Jon Krakauer. This one is my mom's, Memoirs of a Geisha by Arthur Golden. Before We Were Yours by Lisa Wingate. Interpreter of Maladies by Jhumpa Lahiri. Americana by Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie. The Trumpet of the Swan by E.B. White. The 57 Bus by Dashka Slater. The Things They Carried by Tim O'Brien. The Lord of the Rings by J.R.R. Tolkien. I cannot wait to read this. My sister just finished borrowing it. The Westing Game by Ellen Raskin. Into the Drowning Deep by Mira Grant. The Moon is a Harsh Mistress by Robert A. Heinlein. I'll Give You the Sun by Jandy Nelson. Eat, Pray, Love by Elizabeth Gilbert. Ender's Game by Orson Scott Card. Such an enticing cover. This is The God Delusion by Richard Dawkins. This is the works of Charles Lamb by Percy Fitzgerald. I got it for a creative writing class project we did where we had to do blackout poetry with old fiction, so that was really fun. Inside Out and Back Again by Tainha Lai. The Infernal Devices, Clockwork Angel, Clockwork Prince, and Clockwork Princess by Cassandra Clare. A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens. Gone Girl by Gillian Flynn. No Choir Boy by Susan Cucklin. Neverwhere by Neil Gaiman. Tuesdays with Morrie by Mitch Albom. A Game of Thrones by George R.R. Martin. Notre Dame of Paris by Hugo. Franny and Zoe by J.D. Salinger. Harry Potter y el Cáliz de Fuego by She Who Shall Not Be Named. Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, also by She Who Shall Not Be Named. We Were the Lucky Ones by Georgia Hunter. The Night Trilogy by Elie Wiesel. Canvas Teen Literary Journal. I wrote a story that was published in that, so that's what that is. Because of Winn-Dixie by Kate DiCamillo. Every Day by David Levithon. The Definitive Edition, Anne Frank, The Diary of a Young Girl by Anne Frank. Josh and Hazel's Guide to Not Dating by Christina Lauren. A Clash of Crowns by George R.R. Martin. Speak by Laurie Halse Anderson. Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children by Ransom Riggs. And The Hidden Life of Trees. We did it! And now I gotta go take a math quiz, so back to past Maya to say adieu. But yeah, bye. I also wanted to just take a minute to thank you so much for your support of my channel. I recently had my annual first year anniversary on YouTube, which is bonkers, but really fun as well. And I'm about 500 watch hours away from being monetized, which is insane. And I'm really, really grateful for all of you. I'm grateful for the friends I've made through YouTube, the wonderful books I wouldn't have read probably without it, and just, I think, the good conversations and good messages that we try to promote here. Thank you for being a part of my bookish journey. Yeah, and with that, I will say goodbye for now, and I will be back next time with another fun video, hopefully. Yeah, until then, stay well, and I will see you soon.